For all the reasons that people fall in love with wine, you can find yourself falling in love with good whiskey, particularly Scotch whiskey. We've done Oak Cross, we've done Spice Tree. See the difference in style? Yeah, Spice Tree much more intense. Yeah, we were in a bar last night, 2 nights ago, in the city where they made the most beautiful cocktail with Spice Tree. An expensive cocktail, but beautiful cocktail. And I've always had that in mind. Even though it's a malt whiskey that really does engage the single malt lover, the whiskey geek, it also has this similar appeal to the mixology community, the high-end bar community. Yeah. I mean, I think all of our whiskeys do, but certainly Spice Tree does for that assertive, intense character with those sweet associated aromas and flavors. You might have gotten clove spice, you might have gotten vanilla, caramel kind of character. But people like stuff like that. That's why they like this whiskey. You know what? Let's just do the malts together, and then we'll do the grains. So what I want you to do is next we're going to go to first row middle. Yeah, Peat Monster. So that'll have us just tasting the 3 malt whiskeys together. Then we'll go back to, I like that look. Then we'll go back to, and then we'll shift to grain whiskey. You are absolutely permitted to hate this whiskey. Okay? That's fine. That's why I was referring to the look. This is the traditional, heavy, smoky, peaty style of Scotch whiskey. Scotch malt whiskey. Okay. Peat Monster. So front row, middle. Now, it may surprise you this. Of our 3 malt whiskeys, and this is our 3 malt whiskeys from our signature range, which we bottle every year. We always keep all these whiskeys in stock. Of the 3 malt whiskeys, this is the best selling.
Yeah.
This is the best selling in New Jersey. This is the best selling in the U.S. This is the best selling in the world for us at the moment. And that's because even though for the uninitiated to this style, it's a bit of a shock
Take a little later.
and a bit scary. Once you acquire a taste for this style of smoky, peaty Scotch whiskey, you just never go back. You fall in love forever. Tabasco sauce, you get hooked on this stuff, right? So what this is, Peat Monster, this is a blend of 3 single malts. The primary malt in the recipe is distilled at the Lafroig distillery. Some of you will know that. And to that I add 2 other smoky whiskeys. One for a sort of bonfire kind of smokiness, and one for its smokiness but also its malty character. The 3rd whiskey I add to this really rounds things off, relatively speaking. Rounds things off and brings balance to this. And Peat Monster, despite its name, it's what it's really all about is, yes, very big peat and smoke, but also balance and drinkability. And we've heard many, many times over the years people saying, I never liked those smoky Scotch whiskies until I tried your Peat Monster. And I think the reason for that is its balance and its approachability given its style. It's equally appealing to the geeks and to the people who say, hey, I want to really learn about this. I want to get into this style.
How did you actually come up with the name Peat Monster?
How did we come up with the name Peat Monster? This whiskey was originally made 10 years ago, 10 years ago, for Park Avenue Liquor Shop in New York. Before we were exporting to the U.S., they'd heard about us. They're Scotch specialists. John Goldstein came to me and said, love what you do, make us a whiskey, and make it really smoky. And for me, for our style, our house style, there's always got to be a drinkability to it and a balance to it, and a softness and sweetness on the palate. That's part of our house style. So I kept sending him these whiskeys, and he'd say, well, I'll make it peatier, make it smokier, make it smokier. Finally, I sent him one as about as smoky as I could do without moving away from our house style, and I said, here you go, this one's a monster. Sent it to him, he loved it. He said, let's bottle it, what should we name it? And I said, well, I think the name might be on the bottle. I've written on the bottle, handwritten, this one's a monster. That's okay. Names can come from anywhere, right?